good, man? It's Western Groove. Kell Brook says he ain't gonna worry about the orbital bone. Look, bro, I'm about to give you this quote off a boxing scene, bro. And this is exactly what the quote says. Good. Brooks said of how his face feels. Very good. Metal, titanium, strong. You know, me surgeon said it's probably stronger than it was before. I mean, all right, hold on, okay. Then you got another quote. I don't feel it at all. Speaking about his eye. I don't think about it. I'm not gonna think about it in this fight. If I get caught, I'm going in there like it never happened. So what I want to get back to is when Brooks said, very good, metal, titanium, strong, you know? Me surgeon said it's probably stronger than it was before. What if that shit's true, bruh? What if, look, Triple G, he was on his way to knock Brook the fuck out. Like, it was on its way. It was about to happen. Brook was gonna have to either just have to go to the ground, or he was gonna get taken to the ground, you know? But at the same time, he was still able to stand up and stay on his feet to some hellacious shots by Triple G, who was a middleweight, who was probably fighting at like, 170 or 168, something like that on fight night. So there is a question. I you I'm trying to phrase this. There's a lot of people who are really high on Errol Spence, but we don't know shit about Errol Spence. You know what I mean? He hasn't fought someone who has taken him through the ringer, you know? And even though that would kind of kill his hype to a hardcore boxing fan, we would be able to see him and understand how he reacts in certain situations, like when Kell Brook fought Luis Collazo. Like, that kind of took, like, Thurman getting hurt in that fight took away from his casual fan hype, but to the hardcore fans, we kind of got to see Thurman go through some sort of adversity. We got to see Thurman take a shot, like we haven't. There's literally like one video out there or something of Errol Spence taking a flush shot, and it staggered him, and but he held his shit together. But it was against a not a world class opponent. We don't even like people often feel like you can only have a tough fight or get hurt or punched or anything, have difficulties with a pound for pound fighter. But these guys are all world class fighters. You know what I mean? It's just like in the NFL or the NBA, those guys that sit on the bench, or even the guys in the game, and you don't just know their names, nobody's wearing their jersey, those guys are still legit guys. Those guys are still some of the best in the world at what they do. So all these boxers that's up there that's world class, they're still some of the best in the world at fucking throwing hands inside the fucking ring. So when you go in there and all you can do is throw hands inside a square, it don't take much from one world class fighter to another world class fighter to touch this man, to put a hand on this man. So we haven't seen that from Errol Spence, so we don't really know where he's at. So maybe Errol Spence doesn't punch as hard as we thought, just like we thought Thurman was gonna knock everybody out. I think Thurman punches really hard, but I think it's just a certain kind. It's just not as much as we thought. I think that we kind of hype it up. So what if Spence doesn't punch as hard? Which I don't think Spence punches as hard as Thurman, but I think that Spence is like he's more active than Thurman. He's not an ambush fighter like Thurman, so Spence is always constantly working his jab and going to your body. So it's like relentless pressure, and it kind of just it breaks you down. But but what if Brooke has the strength and the power and the movement to keep Spence from just working his body the whole fight? Will Spence be able to just punch Brooke in his fucking eye and fuck his whole shit up? Maybe Spence can't. Maybe this nigga Brooke got a whole bunch of titanium shit put in his face to where he can't be knocked the fuck out. You know, it'll take a lot. It takes more pressure, more blunt trauma force to knock Brook out. So if Brook has any stronger of a chance, if he's any stronger in his chin from the Golovkin fight, then it can be hard for Spence to knock him out. And then if Spence doesn't knock him out, he's fighting a fight in the UK. Now, this is what I will say though. The UK probably has, well, I don't watch a lot of UK fights unless they're the really big fights. So I don't know how their scorecards are, but what I do know is when I watch a lot of the fights, whether they be American fights or the big name UK fights, when I hear their broadcasters on the, what is it, Box Nation or whatever, Sports Nation, whatever the fuck it is out there, they always seem to talk more like intelligently about what's going on than the American broadcasters do overall. Even though I think Showtime is pretty good, I still think that whatever Box Nation, whatever the fuck, is excellent. Like that's the pinnacle right now. Like you want to reach where they're at. Even with that, I mean, when I watch them, they seem pretty fair, you know. So that kind of makes me feel better about the judging, you know, what could occur there. But still, you know, still no matter what, it's Brook's hometown. It's about to be 30,000 people. They're gonna be cheering every time Brook, and it's the UK, so they're gonna cheer every time Brook throws a jab. You know, if it lands or not, it's just a feint. They're gonna start cheering. So I'm kind of worried about Spence getting the decision. I'm gonna get and dive into that fight more. You know, into this fight more. I just saw this article and I just thought that was funny. You know, me surgeon said that it might be stronger than before. Like that's some bullshit. You know, I really hope Brook loses. I didn't respect Brook at all, but then when I saw him in the Triple G fight, I got some respect for him. But then how he handled the Spence fight, I lost all that respect. So I'm kind of like, fuck Brook. I hope he get knocked the fuck out. I hope he gets knocked the fuck out, then moves up to fucking 154 and gets knocked the fuck out some more. Cause I mean, Brook is good, but he fought bums. I mean, real bums. Or, no, I mean, I take that back. I don't want to say bums. He fought fighters who had like no chance, you know. And then when he finally fought a fighter with a chance in Sean Porter, he won that fight barely. And then he went on to fight more fighters with no chance. So then the next time there's actually a fighter with a fucking chance in ERROL Spence, you know, he's acting all funny about it, and it's like, you know, that's some bitch shit to me. So I don't really fuck with that nigga Brook, but it's Western Groove, and I'm out.
So many pills, I should have slipped already. Yeah. My lungs the same color as my lips already. Yeah. Expensive clothes, insufficient funds. Me and my bros switching hoes just for fun. Yeah.